He was always good at conducting the orchestra, and Glenn Hoddle's been directing operations so well at Swindon that they're nicely placed for the playoffs. Since the new year, it's 7 wins out of 10.
Somerby with a corner. Oh, Taylor! That's an absolute storming header.
Arthur Cox is facing yet another crucial period. He can't afford to lose today if Derby are to make the playoffs. Too often this season they've thrown away points at home or been outflanked by other clubs chasing promotion.
Final seconds, Newcastle United have equalised.
What they need is a repeat performance of the game at Swindon before Christmas, when they came away with all 3 points.
What a finish! What a strike that was. And that's 2-0 for Derby.
Central match live from the baseball ground then, Derby County versus Swindon Town. Hello, the knot is tightening, the knuckles turn white, and it's time to stand up and be counted. Who could possibly predict the outcome this afternoon? Last week, Swindon beat the league leaders with the lads from the boot room. Their injury crisis is so bad. Derby have to win. No ifs, no buts. Jimmy Greaves is here with his razor-sharp wit and wisdom. I don't know how we're going to cope with that. And as usual, we'll be entertaining you with the rest of the goals from the First Division yesterday. Birmingham refreshed, Leicester in the mood, Wolves sagging. And something new, a chance to win 4 pairs of tickets for next Saturday's Anglo-Italian Cup final. Derby here beating Brentford on the way to Wembley, where they'll meet Cremonese. And we'll have the highlights of that in next week's Central Match Live. But before we get on with the main business of the day, let's catch up with the progress of our 3 pace setters in the second division. Here they are. Making his debut on loan, Bruce Grobbelaar, who began footballing life in this country just down the road at Crewe Alexandra. The game was drawing to a close when Stoke won their penalty. Steen was brought down, and the man with FA and criminal charges hanging over his head stepped up to take the penalty, apparently untroubled, and score number 28 for the season. Another Potteries debut, but memorable this one for the wrong reasons. Bernie Slaven was sent off in the second half for violent conduct. Despite that, Vale conjured a superb win in East London. Ray Walker's goal keeping them in the second automatic promotion spot. Albion still can't click on foreign soil, not that anybody really fancies a trip to Hartlepool. United were ahead with a first-half penalty scored by Andy Saville. Walsall supporters will no doubt remember him. Two minutes later, the team in the Roy of the Rovers strip levelled it. Bob Taylor's cross and Ian Hamilton's goal. Hartlepool, of course, couldn't score a goal for ages, but they didn't seem to have any trouble here. Watch how Saville catches this one just right to undermine Albion yet again. They'd lost their 4 previous away games. However, they were spared more misery when Paul Raven flew through the air for a second equaliser 2 minutes from the end. And there we are at the top of Division 2, then Stoke City for that 10-point lead, but Port Vale 4 points ahead and a game in hand on Stockport and West Brom in 4th place. Now then, Derby versus Swindon. I'm looking forward to this one, aren't you?
Yes, I am looking forward to it, Tony. I think now with, 12 games to go, isn't it? Derby just can't afford to lose another game. And Swindon can't afford to lose another player on transfer, can they?
No, we'll come to that a little later. There's the situation. Swindon in 4th place can go back 3rd if they win today, but
It's a tough task for them, actually, even though Derby's home record is not the greatest, as we all know. We would hope now that Derby, with the run-in coming up, they're aware of the fact that they've got no margin of errors anymore. No. They've got to go for it now. Every game to them is simply a cup tie, isn't it? And that's only to get the playoffs in. But it'll be interesting. I think you're right. It'll be a good game, Tom.
OK. Well, let's go to the baseball ground here from both managers, talking to Phil Mepham.
Arthur, would you agree that today is make or break for your season?
God, Phil, that's a vicious start, isn't it? No, certainly not. Obviously, we're into the latter stages of the season whereby we have to do everything we possibly can to force our way into the playoffs. And as you're, I'm sure, aware, a week yesterday we were at Wembley in the Anglo-Italian final. We're doing all we possibly can to get into those playoffs, so our season most certainly isn't dead.
Glenn, you come here as very much a form team.
Yes, we've had some good form in recent weeks. Yeah, we've beaten a lot of good sides, particularly at home. A little bit unfortunate in the sense that we've hit a little bit of an injury patch, and we haven't really got the squad to cope with that. But other than that, yes, we've been performing quite well.
And you've added a little bit of steel, which apparently hasn't gone down too well in some circles.
Well, I think it was totally unjustified, to be honest. And a lot of people that I spoke to who were at the game, who were in football, they couldn't believe it either. So it was nice to hear that.
You can't imagine Glenn Hoddle injecting steel, can you?
Yeah, I can, actually. I think all players have got a certain amount of steel to their game, regardless of how they play. So I can imagine him doing that, absolutely. And Arthur, when he shuddered, when Phil asked him... But, I mean, Arthur must know that the old Anglo-Italian trophy is not going to be good enough. It's still got to be the Premier League for them. The only way they can get there now is in the playoffs, and I'm pretty certain Arthur knows that, and he knows what we've been saying.
Well, even Lionel Pickering was saying before the Sheffield Wednesday game he wasn't interested in that. He wanted the Bristol Rovers result.
That's right. He's got to get into those playoffs.
OK, well, we've got to get to the baseball ground now, where it's time to join Alan Parry with John Sillett, Snoz, alongside him.
And welcome to the baseball ground for this crucial match, which will have such a vital influence on the promotion picture in Division 1. Well, Derby have one of their longest-serving players, former captain Michael Forsyth, back in the side. He missed the FA Cup defeat at Sheffield Wednesday because of an eye infection. Forsyth will continue at centre-back in place of the injured Darren Wassell, with young Shane Nicholson playing his 8th game in a row at left-back. There's another youngster drafted in at right-back, 22 years old Steve Round, plays for the first time this season, and Gary Micklewhite also starts for the first time this season in midfield. A new face in the Swindon lineup, the former Sheffield Wednesday and Arsenal forward Brian Marwood. He starts his first game in Swindon's colours, having joined them on a trial period after being released by Sheffield United. Swindon are still without several key players who are injured, including, as you've heard, their player manager Glenn Hoddle, midfielder Mickey Hazard, and leading scorer Craig Maskell, and they recently sold defender David Kerslake to Leeds United. So all the more remarkable that their recent form is so impressive, just 2 defeats in their last 14 league games. Today's referee is Richard Poulain from Huddersfield. Well, Derby did the double over Swindon last season, and when the teams met at the county ground in December, Derby again came out on top, winning a very entertaining game by 4 goals to 2. And it'll be Swindon, all in red, who get this match underway, attacking in this first half from left to right, with Colin Calderwood, their captain, in possession. Nicky Summerby, drafted in now at right back since Kerslake was sold, and he's fouled. First free kick to Swindon. First opportunity to welcome John Sillett.
Good afternoon, everybody, and a happy Mother's Day to all those lovely ladies at home. I just hope you're in for an entertaining game. The pitch looks a little bit lively, and it could make things a little bit difficult. But other than that, I can see 2 sides trying to play their way through and keep up the excellent work, especially Swindon, which they've been doing of late.
Johnson having to work hard and play a slightly dangerous ball back, which Martin Taylor, the goalkeeper, didn't make the best contact with, but he's got away with it. And the free kick given to Derby for the foul by Summerby on Paul Kitson. They've taken it too quickly for the referee's liking, and we'll have to come back and take it again. Derby 11th at the start of play, 48 points from 34 matches. as the captain, Cool, plays a good ball through, and rather surprisingly, the linesman did not signal offside there against Marco Gabbiadini. The ball, anyway, went just over his head. Rain falling, as you can see here, before the kick-off, and hopefully that'll dampen this lively pitch a little. Here's Cool again. That's an excellent ball for Johnson. Great chance here, but this time the offside flag does go up.
Marvellous vision, Martin Cool there. He was waiting for the run. The ball just bounced a little awkwardly just as he went to play it there, and he was just offside. Unlucky. That's the type of movement off the ball Martin Cool be looking for.
Sean Taylor with the free kick, looking for Mitchell, and offside again at the other end. So both linesmen have been busy, making fairly straightforward decisions. Steve White, the player offside this time, scored a hat-trick a fortnight ago at Watford. He's in the side basically because of the injury to Craig Maskell, although he did earlier than that take David Mitchell's place when he was rested. It's a good kick by the goalkeeper, and Taylor at the second attempt got it clear. Bodin, good little ball for Martin Ling. He's played well every time we've seen Swindon this season. Vivash just about comes out with the ball, and now Taylor again, given away, and Young round charges into the tackle to win it back for Derby. But now it's Swindon on the break with Marwood. Summerby looking for White, and plays a good ball back to Summerby, and that was a fine challenge in the end by Shane Nicholson, because there was real danger there for Derby. The ball given away then by Swindon in their own half, but Ling wins it back. This is Calderwood, the captain, looking for White. It came off him rather awkwardly, but it's a throw-in to Swindon anyway. Glenn Hoddle in his second season, who's missed the last 4 games injured, and John Gorman, his assistant, alongside him on the bench. Hoddle a substitute today, remember. Swung in again towards White, and he was elbowing the Derby centre-half Craig Short. Free kick.
I think we're going to see Summerby breaking forward on this right. He looks as though he's taking up a position whereby he'll be threatening the Derby defence. He's used to playing out here wide. He's comfortable on the ball, and he's got a very good engine and can get forward. Derby will have to be aware of this.
Mitchell for Swindon, under pressure from Forsyth, nonetheless finds Summerby. And Summerby out to Marwood on the right flank. Cool sweeping up well though for Derby, and Martin Taylor made a better attempt with his kick that time. Well, I think Swindon thought they were going to get a throw-in out of that. Instead, Derby have a free kick, foul on Pembridge.
There's a good point there. The back pass from Martin Cool was placed on his left foot, which is Taylor's favourite foot, so he made things as easy as he possibly could for his keeper.
Swindon 4th at the start of play, 61 points from 35 games. They'll go into 3rd place, in fact, if they win. Forsyth right under the long clearance. Cool. One back by Ling, but it comes to Cool again. Very cool as well he was with that ball to young Steve Round. Johnson slips, but still manages to head it into the path of Pembridge. A good play this. Nicholson on the left. Cool again at the hub of things for Derby, and knocks it in towards Johnson. Marwood for Swindon. Poor ball by Summerby. Straight to Nicholson. And that's a decent looking ball for Johnson. Vivash very cool indeed to get that clear. This is Paul Bodin. And again Forsyth wins it back well for Derby. Taylor did well enough on his right foot that time as well. And Vivash has given it straight to Kitson. And on to Johnson. Gabbiadini running to the penalty spot, hoping for the cross. It comes out to Pembridge. Well, he's done really well for goals this season, young Mark Pembridge. 14 goals from midfield, but got that shot just slightly wrong.
Just showed me here, there's a good cross coming in, just headed out, and Pembridge just a little bit quick with his shot. should hit the target from there. He's a worker, he's a tackler, and he's always in the hub of the business end, and I like the boy very much. He will get goals. He just needs to keep a little cool round about the box.
Wasted throw in there by Derby, straight to Taylor, and a big up and under from him. Forsyth, the player, under it, and then Craig Short. Marwood, intelligent layoff to Summerby, who hooks it high towards Mitchell. Forsyth again did well with a header. Round finds Gabbiadini. That's beautiful skill by Gabbiadini. Well, on a slightly wider pitch, that would have stayed in, and it would have been great play by Gabbiadini.
Great tight control. You know, he just saw the defender coming. He knew where he was all the time and just touched it round him and tried to get the ball the other side. Excellent play, excellent awareness. He is sharp, Gabbiadini. Especially, he appreciates where the defender is all the time. You can see him coming, and he just delays that little second and tempts him in, shows him the carrot, and next minute's gone.
Nicholson's header clear. Kitson unable to keep it in play. Leading goal scorer at the moment, Paul Kitson, with 20 for Derby. Craig Short wins it. Now Cool.
That's a badly weighted ball by Martin Cool. It's too straight. You can't play straight balls into the box and expect forwards to run onto them. You've got to play the diagonal ball a little more. And that's unlike Cooley to play a wasted ball like that. At the back, you've got Forsyth, who's impressed me with his start. He's playing alongside the centre-half Short today, and he looks really the part.
And right on cue, he wins another good header. Calderwood took a risk then, and it hasn't paid off, but the ball by Kitson just too hard for Gabbiadini. Bodin finds Ling. They always come forward quickly on the counter-attack, Swindon, but they've given the ball away again there. Martin Cool, and young Shane Nicholson joins the attack again. Straight to Bodin. Marwood has switched now from the right to the left flank for Swindon, but gives it away. Craig Short then is dispossessed by Bodin. And both sides guilty of giving the ball away at the moment. Craig Short can't go back to his goalkeeper. That route effectively cut off, so has to concede the throw-in.
Well, both sides at the moment seem to be cancelling each other out. They're closing down very quickly. The ball's a little bit greasy. On this surface, it will just be flying a bit and going through a bit quicker than the players would be expecting with the wet surface.
Rivash comes forward unmarked, shooting chance for him, and he took it well enough.
Here's a little touch there, a little layoff inside, and on his right foot, on target, keeper gets down to save. Plenty of time for that.
Free kick given there for the foul on big Sean Taylor. Voted Player of the Year by Swindon fans in his first season after he joined them from Exeter. Pembridge. This is around. Derby-born youngster who's getting this opportunity at the right-back position, finds Kitson with a good ball forward and on to Johnson. And Vivash surely was brought down in the end, yes. Free kick to Swindon.
Vivash defended well there. He kept his body between the ball and the goalkeeper, and he made things very difficult, whereas there's a good little touch here. In it comes. He keeps his body in there, holds him up. Could be a touch of handball there, and just there he gets pulled away here and pulled down. Free kick.
Ten minutes gone, still Derby County 0, Swindon 0, and a quickly taken free kick to Kitson. Good interception then by Calderwood. Bodin gets it clear. I must say I'm a great fan of these quickly taken throw-ins and free kicks. They always seem to catch the defending side off guard, and that could well have produced a goal. Really bright play there by Derby. Gabbiadini dispossessed then. Ling up to White. Good ball. Bodin. Ling continues his run. But it comes out to this near side to Marwood, just too strong.
Again, it was just the grease on the surface that made the ball fly away. The idea was good, the vision was good, and Marwood was just a yard behind the ball all the way.
Kitson gives it away. And Calderwood manages to find Mitchell. On to Ling. Bodin overlapping. It was a bit short, that ball. He had to make him work hard there, and it deflected off round for a corner. First of the game to Swindon.
Since we've last seen Swindon, or I've seen Swindon, they've changed their style. They play with 3 at the back now, and both fullbacks pushed in. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly they can support the front too.
We do know how dangerous they can be from corners. Watch in particular for number 6, Sean Taylor. Bodin knocks it into Marwood, and not Marwood, to Calderwood rather, and it came to Taylor in the end, but he didn't really have much hope from that angle. He scored unbelievably for a centre-half. 9 goals this season.
Yeah, that's... You know, I used to score loads of goals when I was a player, when I was a professional, but most of them before I woke up. I think there was a good call there. You know, it looked as though it was going to Calderwood, and Calderwood just left the ball. Again, the ball just came through a little bit quick, and it just catches you out in the early stages of a match. You know, you've been in the dressing room, you come out and warm up, and suddenly the rain comes down, and it just makes it a little bit greasier, and the ball flies a little bit better because it's a new ball.
Forsyth loses out to White here, and White with a good lay-up to Marwood. Should really have done better than Brian Marwood. Interesting story behind him. Released by Sheffield United. He was training at Luton. He bumped into Glenn Hoddle at a dinner, would you believe? And that's how it came about that he's now on this trial period with Swindon, because they're so short of players at the moment because of injury.
Well, he didn't tell us, Alan. I bet he had to pay for the dinner if he was out with Glenn.
But it was worth it if he gets a contract.
Too true.
33 now, Brian Marwood. Played for England just once, I remember. Nicholson. Is that handball by Summerby? The referee thinks not. Good challenge by Nicholson, that was. Gabbiadini. Calderwood slides in. That's a corner. Derby's first.
Nicholson looks as though he's got a lovely build and has a very good left foot. I was just a little surprised. The first chance he had, which came over to him, he didn't get an early cross in. And I hadn't seen the boy for a long time, and I wondered if his left foot had lost confidence in it. But now you can see it moving and pinging the ball about all over the park.
Easy one, that, for Fraser Digby in the Swindon goal. He's won his place back from Nicky Hammond and has been in the side since the start of this year.
Well, we've had action at both ends. To be fair, both sides are trying to get forward and to play and to create chances. This is what we want to be seeing. This is the Swindon I know. They like to get forward, and Derby. Two sides here who should produce goals.
Here's Martin Ling. Mitchell striding down that left-hand side. Round across to cover. He gets it back to Bodin, who can deliver these balls accurately with his left foot, and does so too to White on the near post. And it was a good header away by Forsyth, because White was coming in like a steam train behind him.
Yes, he gets round here, he gets blocked off a little here, the defender, and it's a good clip over, and here comes White in, but Forsyth primes really well. Hard ball to head that when you're going backwards. Good defensive play by Forsyth.
Summerby with the corner. Taylor, tremendous header and a brilliant save. Well, he hits the ball with his head harder than some players can kick it, I think, Sean Taylor. And young Martin Taylor produced a superb save then. We can't look at it just yet because the action continues right to the other end. And Forsyth gets it clear. Summerby. Calderwood. That's a throw-in. John.
The one thing you get to watch is when on set pieces, knowing Swindon, is we always look to see where he is, Taylor, because he's got such great power in that head of his. Here he comes, powers in, and the goalkeeper gets one hand to it and punches the ball away. It's a great header, it's on target, and the power he gets is amazing, as Alan says. He's a threat to any side from set pieces, and we know that, and so do they, but they still got a job to contain him. Mind, he looks a powerful lad, doesn't he?
He doesn't look a sissy. Here's Nicholson. Pembridge. And Nicholson again, right-footed this time. A difficult ball for Swindon to deal with. But they dealt with it. And in fact, the linesman was flagged for offside. Derby fans won't thank me for reminding Marco Gabbiadini and his teammates that the baseball ground has been rather like the burial ground for their promotion hopes this season. They've lost 10 of their 17 league games here. Astonishing record.
Yes, that's a record any manager wouldn't be proud of, but there's Taylor in goal. He's made the save of the match so far, but to lose 10 at home is just amazing.
And had it not been for Taylor then, they might have been on a downhill start to this game too. Johnson knocks it on, took a deflection. Taylor away. Cool wins it back for Derby, and then on by Gabbiadini. Bowden's clearance. Micklewhite, haven't seen too much of him yet. And as he played it forward, Johnson was offside. Long ball by Calderwood, too long. Cool under pressure from Ling. Very calm. Nicholson with the long ball. Kitson, Pembridge. Gabbiadini couldn't force it back to him. Calderwood's clearance. Craig Shaw got there ahead of Mitchell. Comes back now to White. It's a decent little ball, and Bowden explodes in behind the fullback. They've got 4 men forward here, Swindon. Mitchell calling for the early ball. In fact, he pulls it back too far, and that was a wasted chance really for Swindon. Tried to pull it into Ling's path and pulled it in behind him.
You know, they say pull the ball back, but at the same time, you've got to get your head up and look. If you'd have looked into the centre there was 3 players in the box and one just about to come in, and he picked the wrong one, Bowden, which I was surprised at, because he did look up once and he must have had a strong core to lay the ball back.
But it's been a bright and lively start to this critical match in the Football League First Division. 2 teams hoping to gain promotion at the end of this season. Derby's only hope surely now, though, is through the playoffs. Swindon still think they can do it in one of the 2 automatic places. Here's Johnson for Derby. Slips on the wet turf to the delight of the Swindon fans. Ling drives it forward, not too clever, straight to Nicholson. Kitson. Nicholson again, seeing plenty of the ball on this left-hand side early on. Bowden's clearance, Pembridge onto it. Good little ball for Micklewhite. And back it goes to Micklewhite, or at least that was the intention by Gabbiadini, but he got it wrong. And well played, Marwood. Foul then, Craig Short on David Mitchell.
The way Swindon are playing with 5 across the back, Nicholson should see plenty of the ball, but what I like about him, he attacks the space in front of him, which is always a threat to the opposition. When you get a fullback running at the space, running in front of him and taking the ball to you, you've got to bring somebody out to confront him, and therefore it gives them problems.
Steve Round. Straight onto the head of Vivash. And Swindon have a player down injured here, so strictly speaking he's offside when the ball comes back, and it's Marwood. Not quite sure how he collected that, but obviously a painful rap just above the ankle by the looks of it. 16 seasons in the game, Brian Marwood, and of course important administrative figure behind the scenes in the Professional Footballers Association, and certainly enjoying this opportunity to play at a high level again with Swindon.
It's funny, Alan, you know, the older you get, the more those knocks hurt. It's amazing. But he'll be all right. He'll be back in amongst it.
Glenn Hoddle making sure he's warmed up just in case he's needed. He's had a hamstring injury and has missed the last 4 games. Marwood's okay for the moment. Michael White for Derby. Round. Knocked it in a bit too swiftly then, but gets it back again. Michael White. Under pressure. And it'll be a throw into Derby. Johnson's got himself free of his markers. But wasted the opportunity to make a dangerous cross. Mitchell just touched that on there to White. And now Ling, and that's an excellent ball forward. Mitchell onto it. And Round did really well then, the young fullback. Really well. Good clearance too. Derby got themselves out of jail then. Nicholson. It's a good run, but where's he going to go now? He's going to get a decent cross in, to be fair. Foul then by Kitson. Seemed a bit harsh.
A little bit harsh. I agree with you there, a little bit harsh. But that ball from Martin Ling was a superb ball. It was just maybe a yard too heavy, but the idea behind it and the movement of the ball was lovely. And the way to pass on this surface will just catch them out because they've not been used to this wet surface. I know I keep on about it, but it is important. You can see the mistakes being made by both defenders and attackers.
Mitchell touches it on and actually almost reached his own flick on that. Pretty unusual. Nicholson got there just ahead of him, but has given it away to Ling. Cool breathing down his neck and did well enough to earn Derby the throw. Martin Cool's only goal, incidentally, since he joined Derby came in that 4-2 win at Swindon in December, and a cracker it was too, I remember.
You remember it, and so does he. I bet now. You better get another one soon, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a long period without another goal, but of course he has certainly added great stability to Derby's midfield. Kitson charges down the Somerby clearance. Vivash. Ross McLaren. Haven't seen too much of him in the early exchanges. Kitson beaten to it by Somerby. It comes to White. Pembridge battling away, but loses out to Ling. Swindon have it back again. Somerby. Ling. And wins a throw off Nicholson.
There's a problem there. On 2 occasions, Swindon have had possession of the ball, and there hasn't been a lot of movement off the ball and a lot of talking. You always got to tell your player where you are. By that we mean, you know, call for the ball, want the ball, and show. But Swindon been a little bit shy of that at the moment, which is unlike them.
And Somerby runs the ball out of play. Swindon have recently beaten some of the top sides in the division. Millwall, Tranmere, Portsmouth, Newcastle, all in the space of a month. It's a tremendous run by them, despite all their injuries. Here's Somerby trying to open things up at Derby, and a good ball into the middle, and it comes back to Ling. Well, again, Martin Taylor was in the right place to stop Ling's shot this time. Kitson. Cool. This is Round. Michael White's moved forward for him, but he knocks it long instead towards Johnson. Calderwood's clearance. Gabbiadini. Gabbiadini was fouled. Free kick. Derby wanted to take that one quickly as well, but Swindon's players stood in the way and wouldn't let them.
Will we see Martin Cool hit this ball?
Yes, it's a good position.
Yeah, good position. It's ideal. And a little touch. They've been taking their set pieces very quickly, but here they seem to know what they're doing. They're setting something special up.
We've got Cool to the left of the ball, Pembridge to the right, and the young fullback Steve Round hovering as well in that little quartet of players. They leave it to Pembridge, and the shot goes wide.
Again, A good striker, the boy. Hit it very well, very cleanly, but it's just wide of the goal. It just goes on the edge of the wall and just wide of the goal there. But it was a powerful strike. You need that on target. Stuart Pearce is possibly the best you can get from those positions, but, you know, Pembridge hit that well.
About 20 minutes remaining in the first half here at the baseball ground. Derby County 0, Swindon Town 0. Kitson forward for Derby, finds Johnson. Nicholson. He really made Gabbiadini work hard to keep that one in, and he's done well, and shakes off Marwood, and then wasted the opening.
He's got good, strong legs. He's a powerful little fella, Gabbiadini. He turns there, done a little back flick through the legs, took his player on and got behind, but it's a shame he just wasted his end. The end product wasn't what one would hoped it would be.
White chasing here with Craig Short. Throw in.
Now, earlier on, we had Nicky Summerby breaking down the right, and he took the left back on, which was Nicholson, and got past him and crossed a good ball in. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that movement from him.
Mitchell is dispossessed by Johnson, who finds Gabbiadini. The lay-off to Pembridge. And then Round knocks it long for Kitson. Strange ball, but he's kept possession. Good ball there. Micklewhite releasing Nicholson. Oh dear. Here's Marwood for Swindon. It's a good open match, though. Little to choose so far between the sides. And Marwood was fouled there by Shane Nicholson.
It just looked as though Marwood's legs were just starting to go there. It was a long run for him. He was trying to keep Nicholson off, and in the end, Nicholson got his arm in front and he just committed the foul. We have Sean Taylor coming up again for this free kick. He's back on the back post. I'm sure he'll be parrying his way on the end of something here.
And Summerby knocks it long right into that area. He and Mitchell actually ended up getting in each other's way. Foul on Ling.
I think Taylor caught Mitchell there. Mitchell looks a bit sore and a bit sorry for himself. I think Taylor, when he parried his way in on that header, just caught him in the back or in the side.
Good break by Pembridge for Derby. Vivash took it off him, but it comes back to the Welshman. And again, Vivash to Swindon's rescue. Derby have taken the throw quickly. Micklewhite. Cool. Oh, that was almost a good ball, that. It actually hit Vivash in the stomach. And breaks again now for Kitson. And it goes to Craig Shaw. Didn't quite reach him. This is Ling for Swindon. Forward to White. Well, he had absolutely no support at all then, Steve White. Offside as Taylor cleared his lines.
Derby are having difficulties in breaking down the back five of Swindon. They're playing square, and they've got to be well organised, because all Derby need to do is to get the midfield to run at them with the ball and just take them on, and there could be problems.
Well, Sykes doing a very sound job in this new role for him at centre-back, although he did actually play a lot of games there earlier on in his career. Remember Darren Wassell, the former Nottingham Forest defender, still out with that broken collarbone. Mitchell with the flick header on. And Cool gets it clear to Kitson. 15 minutes of the first half remaining. It's still 0-0 here at Derby. Swindon in possession with Adrian Vivash. Tried to divide the ball between the two centre-halves, and it didn't come off. Nicholson. Pembridge. Calderwood gets it clear. Nicholson again for Derby. That's another inaccurate ball when they needed a bit more accuracy. Ling brings it clear. Marwood has switched again to the left. Well, he got caught in possession there and could pay for it. Johnson. Well, he tried the shot when he surely should have passed the ball there to Kitson, or indeed even Gabbiadini.
Well, I was amazed there. He's broken through. There's 3 against 2. Kitson has pulled wide, and he only had to lay the ball to him, but he did try the shot, as you say. Never on.
But it all came about, John, because Brian Marwood's legs got him into trouble.
Yes, it was good pressurising. They closed him down. Here's the shot coming in. There was a slight deflection, and maybe it was a good job there was, because it would have flashed wide, I think. It wasn't on target, I assure you. Just a deflection took it on target. But it's one of those games where both sides are trying to create this chance, create this opening. It's interesting to watch, because both defences at the moment are being strong and powerful, and they're on top at the moment, defences are, but it just needs a bit more skill and a bit more craft. A few shorter passes. I'd like to see a bit more passing going on.
Marwood loses out to Nickel White in that run. Johnson getting a little bit of stick from the crowd as well, Tommy Johnson, which is never nice to hear. Vivash knocks the long ball forward, and that should go safely out for a goal kick. Whoops, a daisy. Steve White carried on running, and Glenn Hoddle must have felt that his side had been opened up a moment ago. His heart must have been in his mouth when he saw Johnson going through and 2 white-shirted Derby players unmarked.
Yeah, Arthur won't be too happy, you know, because Arthur would have thought there was the first real break. They had 3 against 2, and, you know, the young lad just didn't use his head. You know, you've always got to look up what's around you. If somebody's in a better position, 9 out of 10 times it pays just to pass the ball and appreciate that position they've made for you.
White gets the ball onto Marwood, who's got away from his man here, and he's got Mitchell in the middle. Had to go alone, and the keeper pushed it away. And White onto the loose ball, couldn't control it. But it's been given away again by Derby. Bowed in with a long one this time, and headed behind by Nicholson for a corner.
Well, Brian Marwood was winding himself up there, and it was just good positioning by Taylor. He made his angle, and he stood there, and he looked big, and he just pushed the ball out again. And Derby had the luck whereby, in as much it went straight to one of their players.
So frustration for Brian Marwood. Excellent goalkeeping again by Martin Taylor, who's played in the last 10 games. Preferred to Steve Sutton at the moment. Got more work to do perhaps here. And the shot by Marwood again went screaming close to the Derby goal. He did well to keep that down as much as he did.
Yes, that was a difficult ball. It just rears up and bounces up awkwardly, but he gets his leg up well, and he just couldn't quite keep his knee over the ball. It was a good strike, a lot of power, just couldn't quite keep it down on target. Not his fault, because it was a difficult bounce, and he couldn't do a lot other than he did.
Well, he certainly made a significant contribution here, starting a game for the first time for Swindon. Been on a sub before, but as I say, this is the first time he's been in from the kickoff. Swindon have a free kick, which McLaren takes. Martin Cool living up to his name again for Derby. Bowden now. Ling is offside, surely, yes.
Yes, that's a good run, though, from the midfield. You know, to play square defences, you've got to have your midfield players making forward runs, because if the forward turns off his defender and goes for the through ball, he'll be offside straight away. So if the midfield can make the diagonal runs and get in behind and time their runs correctly, that will catch a side playing a square defence out.
Free kick goes into Gabbiadini, but Taylor gets there first. Bowden. Ling did well. Forward to Marwood, wasn't a good enough ball. Cool wins it back for Derby. Now Round. Goes straight across every member of the back 4 to Nicholson. Well, not being too accurate at the moment with the final pass, Derby.
That's a little bit desperate by young Nicholson. He's got Martin Cool inside. You've got to be looking for him and playing a short ball to him now and again, just to change the pattern.
Good layoff there. Mitchell to Ling, and on to Marwood, who keeps appearing on both flanks. Good ball into Ling too. Johnson gets it back to Pembridge, on to Gabbiadini. The goalkeeper had to take charge there and did well, and his clearance was so good that he found Martin Ling about 30 yards offside at the other end.
Super positioning by Digby Fraser, or Fraser Digby, I can't think. You know, that is where a goalkeeper has got to be. He's got to be out there reading the situation, because with a square defence that can happen.
9 minutes to go to half-time, and it's still 0-0. Cool for Derby. Kitson flicks it on to Pembridge. It's deflected, and that'll be a corner.
A little deflection there, which nearly catches keepers out. You know, the keeper's making his position on the first strike of the ball, and then suddenly there's a slight deflection. It just catches you out and can wrong foot you, but there he got his hands to it and just pushed it behind for a corner.
Which goes in short to Gabbiadini, and back again, and the cross much too deep.
If you look at today's match so far, you know, there's been a lot of entertaining play, both sides trying to get forward, but the end product, the quality cross, is missing. You know, they've got to work at this. One of the managers, I'll be going in saying, come on lads, we're doing quite well, but we've got to get beyond, we've got to get behind, and we've got to improve our crosses. Both sides could do with that, improvement in crossing.
Kitson, and the referee saw a handball by Vivash.
You know, you've got a player like Martin Ling, who he's all over the park. He's got great energy and he's got good skill with it. You know, they want to be giving him the ball and letting him link up with front men.
Well, Derby have been very wasteful from their corners and free kicks so far, and that was another example.
They're just a bit too direct. They're trying to go route one, and sometimes it pays to just say, let's go route 2 and 3 for a change. You know, I think Swindon have set their stall out that things will be coming in early and knocking longer balls in, and they're handling that. There isn't a problem for them. They've been dealing with that most of the match so far. It's just a change of plan they should be doing there, Derby.
Ling under pressure here from Micklewhite, and Bodin gives it back to him. And Bodin wins it again. McLaren, Bodin. Well, that's brilliant play by Swindon in a really tight situation.
That's lovely to watch, isn't it? You know, we see the ball, it's so easy, so simple, but it's so good to watch.
And they really came from a deep defensive position right to the other end here, but Marwood can't get the cross in. However, they regain possession with Calderwood. He took too long. And he's in trouble now. It's 2 against 2 at the other end. Johnson vaults over Vivash's tackle. He's got Gabbiadini in the middle, and Pembridge arriving, and drives it across to Gabbiadini and never reached him. But still problems for Swindon. Micklewhite. Now Gabbiadini. It was an awkward ball Micklewhite played to him.
But it should be a good lesson for Vivash. He was caught 2 against 2 there, and you must never go and dive on your backside and try and win the ball, because you're out of the game. And there he dived in, ended up on his backside and got beat. You must hold up and show the player the line and wait for rest of your team to get round you as quickly as possible.
Nicholson for Derby. And the linesman's flagged for an offside, presumably, which mystifies me somewhat.
Yes, just too many touches on the ball. You know, it should be just control the ball, pass it to your midfield, do the simple thing and do it quickly and do it easily. That would be my advice to this young left-back here, Nicholson. He should get hold of it and look for Martin Cool and says, come on, Cooley, I'm going to bring you in the game. But at the same time, Cooley's the experienced player. He should be telling him, give it to me, son, give it to me.
And the referee has given a free kick to Swindon for a foul by Craig Short then. And he must now defend against the free kick he's conceded. Bodin and Ling over the ball for Swindon. Touched by Ling to Bodin. And Calderwood got in on the back post there, and that was why Derby had to concede the corner. Craig Short again.
Short did well there again, because behind him was an opponent who looked like he was going to be in for me straight away. I said, here's a goal coming, but no, he just got his head to it and cleared it for a corner.
Corner taken short and then knocked to Summerby. Poor cross by him. But Derby don't have a single player even on the halfway line, so the ball comes back into their half and then Bodin wastes it.
Both sides are squeezed up here. You can see them either side, 10 yards either side of the halfway line. That adds up to not a good match at times, because there's not a lot of room to play in. You just want to drop off and just start finding yourself a bit of space. The most important thing on the football field is the space you can find between yourself and your opponent. And that's what they should be looking for, both sides.
Nickel White looking for Gabbiadini. It was cleared though by Vivash. Mitchell. Ling takes over for Swindon. Vivash is there again. Good ball for Summerby. Summerby chooses the difficult route here, but wins the corner. Credit to him for that.
Yes, he had nothing else to do there. He was on his own with two opponents round him, so he made up his mind. He was positive. He tried to get to the corner flag and get the cross in.
Just caught sight there of Simon Coleman, one of the two Derby substitutes, apparently about to come on. I don't know whether there's an injury problem that's not obvious from here. Taylor awaits the corner. Summerby will take it. Calderwood got the header in fact, and it went just wide of the goal. But they've got two powerful, dangerous players at corners with these centre-backs.
The amazing thing is, you know, you've got to get, when you get opponents like them who are strong in the air, get close, get as tight as you can, and don't give them the room to be able to make a run at the ball. You know, I'm not saying, you know, foul them or anything like that. Just get tight and make it so difficult that they can't get the run at the ball to get the power to climb up in the air and above you.
2 minutes to half-time. Still 0-0 here. Free kick has gone Swindon's way.
At this stage, you're looking for your experienced players to say, right, come on, we won't let this game go away from us, because to either side, it'd be a bad time to give a goal away. Just keep possession, be patient, and let's play the ball safely and sensibly.
Calderwood with the free kick. Headed away by Forsyth, and it breaks to Johnson. On to Pembridge. Kind bounce gives the ball to Gabbiadini, but Summerby always favoured to get there ahead of Johnson. Into the final minute of the half now. Taylor under pressure immediately from White.
Immediately put it on his right foot. Prove me wrong.
Strange situation there, because White was still, of course, offside and couldn't seem to make his mind up whether to go off the pitch or what. Offside anyway was the verdict, and Nicholson comes forward now for Derby. Started promisingly this match, but the last 15 minutes or so have been a bit disappointing. Both sides seem to have lost their way a bit.
The problem being, you know, we saw the one move from Swindon on the left, started deep in their own half by Bodin, the left back, who played a little short ball, 1-2, and they're out of trouble, and then into the midfield. But nobody's trying to play the simple ball, the easy ball. They're all trying to look for the long ball and knocking long stuff, and it's just breaking down all the time.
Calderwood's clearance goes straight to Pembridge. That's a good ball for Kitson. And he knocks it in, looking for Gabbiadini. Bodin got it away, straight back to Kitson. And he could make nothing of that.
It was a bit of a weak finish, wasn't it, really? But there was a case there where a good run off the ball by Kitson, who got in behind Summerby, and a nice ball played, but You're looking for him to go to goal then, but he didn't quite make it. He checked back and got the cross in. Go for goal. Go and attack that goal. That's what we need to be seeing.
So there we are. The first half reaches a 0-0 conclusion. And John Gorman, the assistant manager of Swindon Town, is with Phil Meppel.
John, do you feel you should have your noses in front now?
Yeah, but to be fair, it's a tight game, but we have made the good chances and we've played very well. We've got it down and we've passed, and we've played from the back, which we're very pleased about today, and we've made the chances. And to be honest, we might have had 3 good chances to score. Brian Marwood twice got through, shot just a bit too early, and then the last one I felt I could have just took it in a bit more. But I mean, he's just got back in first-team football after a long time. He's done tremendously well. Martin Ling's starting to make things happen for us in midfield with some great runs, and our front two is causing a lot of problems. We just got to keep it going, and we're happy with what can be achieved.
Thanks very much, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, funny sort of game, isn't it? Bit tight, bit tense, but when was it any different at the baseball ground this season? We'll be back in a moment with our Anglo-Italian Cup final competition. 8 free tickets for Wembley coming up. See you in a moment.
Gillette introduces the perfect way to start your shave. Gillette Series Shaving Gel. Advanced lubricants, easier razor glide, an incredibly smooth shave. There's no better gel than Gillette Series Gel.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
And that's the end of the first half.
If you really want to arrive in style, you can always rely on a Clio.
We're just having coffee.
Well, we finally found a house, Mum, and it's all going ahead.
That's marvellous, dear.
Where's the man who once called me a capitalist homeowner getting his mortgage?
Very funny. Abbey National.
Oh, heavens, no, not them.
What? You've been an Abbey customer for years.
Precisely, they've been good to me. I've known the local branch. They might find out we're related.
Your son's a responsible adult now, don't forget.
Responsible for turning my hair grey. There are other mortgage lenders, you know.
So, Abbey, you've been voted the best overall lender for the last 2 years by these guys.
Girlies galore.
Hardly.
I think it's very sensible. A mortgage is a long-term thing, like having children.
Not in the least like having children. When did our mortgage bash the car or throw up in next door's garden or flood the bathroom? When did our mortgage lose my passport?
Abbey National, the habit of a lifetime.
Whose are they? They're not mine. They're certainly not yours, so
What are
whose
you
are they?
talking about?
What have you been up to?
Nothing.
It's not the first time. You've been two-timing me, haven't you?
What? I'm not going to stay here and be insulted.
Oh, really?
Time for a sharp exit. Time for a cool, sharp harp. The chances of a brand new car falling into your lap are pretty remote. Play Wordsworth in the Gloucester Citizen, however, and winning a new Nissan Sunny 1.4 LX is as easy as A, B or C. There are also special daily and weekly prizes to be won. A Wordsworth game card will be dropping through your letterbox. Pick up a copy of the Gloucester Citizen, and a new Nissan Sunny might land outside your door. Play Wordsworth in the Gloucester Citizen.
With each new day, you find a way to be your best.
Gillette Sensor for the best shave possible.
You know you've got to be a little better than the rest.
Sensor has spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to every detail of every face. Gillette Sensor. And now there's Gillette Series Aftershave Gel. It moisturizes so your face feels comfortable all day.
Gillette, the best a man can get.
Well, Jim, Swindon have had twice as many goal attempts, 8 against 4, but maybe the best chance of all Derby didn't actually get.
What, the offside decision by the linesman? Yes, very annoying. Good ball by Call. I don't think there was any doubt that he was onside when the ball was played. I do wish linesmen would not anticipate situations. Or is it possibly that they fear that if they give the harder decision, that if he scores, then people will blame the linesman rather than... it's easy for the linesman to give a decision for the defenders, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean,
and you did say so instantly.
Straight away I said definitely not offside. Clearly, if a player... I mean, they're not interpreting the rule right, which is if a player is level, then he's not offside. Now, that's been brought in this year, but linesmen are totally ignoring it. I don't think Johnson was even level. He was behind the player anyway.
I'd always say give the benefit, because we want to see goals, don't we?
You know, they love to get involved when they don't have to, and then when they're called upon to make the right decision, invariably they make the wrong one. I can't stand them. I never could. When I was playing, they used to drive me to tears.
I got that impression. Let's quickly whistle through the
saves.
Best,
yeah, a couple of good saves by Taylor, and I think he's actually kept them the score sheet down. That was a good save because that was the Taylor, but Taylor to Taylor, a tailor-made effort, and then Brian Marwood, who's actually had a good game. Gorman was right when he said that Marwood's been in the game a lot and has played well. I think he was looking up for a cross, saw that everybody was covered, and it's a good ball. And Taylor again makes a good save there. And he, of both the goalkeepers, has been called upon more to do things, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But it's a goalless draw, and it could finish up 4-4, and oh look, there is a piggy flying in the studio. But who knows, Tone? We never know, do we?
He's gone again. I'm afraid he's gone. Anyway, let's move on to our Anglo-Italian Cup competition, shall we? Derby, of course, beat Brentford in the semi-final. Gabbiadini here scoring one of the goals. What we want to know is, when were Derby County last at Wembley, as they will be next Saturday against Cremonese? When were they last at Wembley? OK, and the address to send your answer to is Anglo-Italian Competition, Central Match Live, Central TV, Broad Street, Birmingham, B1 2JP, and answers must be in first thing on Wednesday. Get that address? And do you think you know the answer? Let us know.
We'll be back. Built when they were last at Wembley.
Do you get the impression he's being just a touch cynical there? Anyway, we'll be back with the second half. Let's hope it's a bit brighter than the first. Stay with us.
It's chicken McNuggets that really do it for me. The very sound of it. Nugget, nugget, nugget.
Fancy a Chinese?
Yeah. Nah. Curry?
Yeah. Nah.
McDonald's? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, darling. Did you have a nice birthday? You went to McDonald's?
I could murder a Big Mac. I mean, what do you really want out of life, Catherine? I mean, really and truly.
I want a McChicken sandwich and a strawberry milkshake.
everybody. Call us now and there's £50 off the price of a full Bupa health screen. Doesn't your body deserve it? Phone free now, 0800 24 7000.
Free, the new Mega WrestleMania 9 wall chart, plus great pictures to cut out and stick on. Get your WrestleMania 9 wall chart free with the Daily Mirror tomorrow.
Pint of Wellington, please.
Not every bit a drinker likes draft, Bass. Wouldn't it be a dull world if everyone did?
To me now, to me rest your head for just 5 minutes. Everything is done. Such a cozy room, the windows are illuminated, sunshine through them, fiery.
There's one building society that's given more money to more people for more mortgages than anyone else. So if you want to get into a new home, you know who to talk to. Get a little extra help from the Halifax.
Welcome back. Let me just remind you that there are 4 pairs of tickets going for Wembley next Saturday in our Anglo-Italian competition.
What's the second prize? 8 pairs of tickets, is it, or what?
Do I get the impression you won't be there?
I don't know. I don't know whether I'll be there or not.
Full enough, you know.
You can't get to Wembley these days.
Well, there's a lot of games on, aren't there?
It's very difficult on the roads, you know.
Yeah. But everybody seems to be playing their matches there, don't they?
They are these days, yes.
Full enough, you know, that Anglo-Italian competition was conceived by Stuart Webb, and here are Derby County playing in the final. Stuart Webb, a victim of the reshuffle at the baseball ground, no longer there.
I mean, I don't know whether this has been a good competition or not. I mean, there's been so many bookings and so many kick-ins and sending-offs. But at least we've got to the final at Wembley and we'll see what happens to it. But I'm never convinced about these tournaments. I think they create more problems than anything else. But there you are.
All right, Jim, well, back we are at the baseball ground. Alan Parry and Snoz ready to take up the story.
Welcome back, just as the Derby team take the field, and we understand there has been a half-time substitution. In fact, I can see him out there now. Simon Coleman has come on because Craig Short apparently picked up an injury in that first half. So Simon Coleman, who's played about 20-odd games this season and was a regular, of course, last season until Darren Wassell was signed when he lost his regular place. Well, Coleman is on for Short and immediately gets his first kick of the ball, and not a bad one, and Kitson might have made better of it. The rain continues to fall heavily here, and I understand that Craig Short went off because of a thigh strain. Certainly both sides with a lot of injuries at the moment, but you would expect that at this stage of the season. As Cool knocks it forward to Johnson, headed away by Sean Taylor. Some of these clearance. Cool is there again. He's been the most accurate passer of a ball on the pitch so far. Micklewhite knocks it in, looking for Johnson. Headed clear by Somerby. Now Micklewhite. Not a bad ball, and Calderwood obviously got a call of advice from Somerby behind him to let that one go.
Yes, at this time of the season, you get your physio is the busiest man within the football club. He's there, he's treating more players, there's more injuries, more knocks, and he has the busiest time of anybody working within the football club. I always feel for the physio about this time of the year.
Taken on the chest again by Martin Cool, and he hits a good-looking ball forward. And if Johnson had been just a little bit more aggressive then and gone for that, he might have given Fraser Digby a problem.
That was a quality ball, and it had the right pace for me. Johnson just didn't get after it. He didn't go really 100% after the pass and say, I'll make that a good one for you. He just half-heartedly went for it.
Gabbiadini now in possession. And Round has made a good run, the young fullback on the right. and pulls it back too deep, but still Kitson controls it. Inside to Pembridge. And Pembridge really hammered that one across. Goal kick.
Arthur Cox must be there saying, come on, we're at home. Boys, you've got to get more numbers forward. We've got to take a chance. We've got to break, because if we don't win this match, there's no way we're going to reach the playoffs. So he would have worked very, very hard with Roy McFarlane in geeing the boys up to say, get forward, get playing, and let's get a result.
Coleman wins the header at the other end. Cool. Round. Well, that's a bit wasteful again by the 22-year-old. Born in Derby, a regular in the reserves the last couple of seasons. Not too many first-team chances for him. It's a good ball by Coleman. Good clearance, and it turned out to be a good pass too. Johnson. Gabbiadini and Kitson in the centre for him. He slides it in to Pembridge. That's a good ball. Kitson. Nicholson. Headed away by Taylor, however, the flag had already gone up for offside.
And Johnson had just gone offside there. He got in a bit early. But having said that, you know, Derby's made a sprightly start. They've played the ball about, they've knocked it wide. Coleman's come on and had a couple of touches, and there he was, just showing him offside there, getting behind the fullback.
I mentioned how well Swindon have been doing recently against the top sides. Well, Derby have been beaten by all the top sides they've met here at the baseball ground. Newcastle, West Ham, Portsmouth, Millwall, Tranmere, they've all come here and won this season, and that's making life very, very difficult for them to keep in touch with the leading sides. It's only their marvellous away record that gives them any hope, any breathing space at all. They've won, I think it's 13 away matches in League and Cup this season.
That's football.
Gabbiadini, nice little layoff, cleared though by Summerby. Pembridge, Micklewhite. Hasn't managed to get back into the game really, Gary Micklewhite. But gets the ball back with a lucky bounce this time. This is better from Derby, this has got the crowd behind them. Nicholson. Pulls it back to Gabbiadini. Goal kick. I think the shake of the head.
Home fans didn't seem very happy with that decision, did they? I was surprised Gabbiadini didn't just try a turn here. The ball comes to him, he has a good first touch, and I thought, oh, it's not such a good first touch. I can see why he didn't now. I thought he would have just turned there and spun on it and tried a shot. Just didn't get his touch right.
Claiming it came off McLaren and should have been a corner, but a goal kick the verdict. But at least there's been a bit more positive attitude to Derby at the start of this second half. They've got the ball into the Swindon penalty area and got more players forward, Arthur Cox's side.
On 4 occasions now they've been there in crossing positions. That's an improvement on the first half already.
Mitchell wins the throw-in off Shane Nicholson's clearance. Pembridge. Knocked accurately forward, but not accurately enough. Calderwood got it clear. Now it breaks to Kitson. Good ball for Round. He's under pressure here from Bodin. Lifts it forward for Johnson. As usual, Gabbiadini and Kitson on the far post. He slides it in instead to Micklewhite.
Well, that was a good ball from Johnson. He took control of it here. He lays it in. Micklewhite gets a good touch there, and it's a good shot. It goes through the legs of the opponent, and he done well to see that, the keeper.
And a quick break at the other end, led by Martin Ling, and he pulls it back into space, and that's a tremendous save again. My word, Martin Taylor is having an absolutely storming match here for Derby County, and that save from Marwood was absolutely top draw.
You can't call him a Taylor's dummy, can you? He's played exceptionally well. 3 tremendous saves.
Johnson, Pembridge, this is more like it. Much livelier start to the second half. Meantime, I notice Johnson's gone down injured for Derby. Lying on the edge of the Swindon penalty area. There he is. As Round plays it in. Taylor gets it clear. And now Gabbiadini goes down, but it was an obvious dive for my money by Gabbiadini.
I think they were appealing more for a handball there, I think. It just looked as though it went against his hand.
Yeah, didn't see that. Coleman. Nicholson. Johnson's back on his feet now, by the way. Round. Micklewhite. On to Gabbiadini. That's a glorious ball to Johnson. Well, that was a brave effort from that range.
Just a little surprise there again, Johnson. I thought he was going to play a 1-2. He shaped up as though he was going to, then suddenly pulled his foot back and let go. But there, again, it would have been wise to have played a 1-2 there and get himself beyond. He was a long way out. Here goes the ball. It's in. It's a great strike and a great save there by Taylor. Threw himself to his left. It's on target. You can ask no more from Marwood than get it on target. It's a great save. Credit to the goalkeeper.
Here's Johnson again for Derby. And he'll be very frustrated with himself about that.
You can't believe that skill from a professional. You know, they're there, they're beyond. All he's got to do is concentrate, look at the ball and deliver it to an area. In practice, it's no problem to them. I don't know whether their bottle goes a bit when there's pressure on them.
Pressure now on the Derby defence, but Coleman did well, and so did Cool. And releases a beautiful ball for Kitson over his right shoulder. Pembridge in a good position in the middle. He looked for Gabbiadini, hooked away by Vivash, and now Somerby. Well played. Ling. Somerby's continued his run here, and Ling threads a glorious ball to White. But a lot of players forward here, Swindon, if he can pull it back. And when he did so, he pulled it straight back to Coleman, who showed remarkable presence then in his own 6-yard box. Well, I don't know what the respective managers have said, but we've got a real game now, John.
Yes, now they're starting to play. They're starting to knock the ball about. There's a lot of movement off the ball, which was needed. It had got a little bit static just before half-time, but now we've got players prepared to run and to get into positions and to support. That's what's needed in this game. Liven it up, pick it up and start playing.
Micklewhite for Derby, still 0-0. Whoops, played it straight against his own man Cool. He comes back to Coleman. And he's showing lovely control on the ball. Not a bad ball either for Kitson. Gabbiadini. Vivash dived in with the challenge. Ling. Stayed in play here, and Coleman just got across White. Did enough.
He's a good little player, Ling. He's had a tremendous game so far. His movement, his passing, his contribution. He's up and down the pitch, but he's got great skill. There he kept possession. He bent a good ball down the line and kept Derby under pressure. Here he is again, supporting well.
And threading a lovely ball to Somerby. He got that cross all wrong.
Well, his father wouldn't be happy with that cross. Mike Somerby, his dad, was a great crosser of the ball, and young Nicky there, I was surprised at him because he has that quality as well. He just didn't work at it. He's made a great position, been found with the ball, had time to look up and to bend the ball just in between the goalkeeper and the penalty spot, and he didn't deliver the goods.
Frustration down there for Messrs Gorman and Hoddle on the Swindon bench. But it's this man who's frustrated them more than anyone, Martin Taylor. 3 absolutely first-class saves today. Coleman doing well. Taylor knocks it straight back in behind the back four, but no problem again for Martin Taylor. He's been around a long time, of course. It's his 7th season, the Derby goalkeeper. He was understudy to Peter Shilton for most of those.
Obviously learned something because his positioning today has been brilliant. He's made up his mind early. He's got into position. He's stood there. He's looked big. He looks unbeatable at the moment.
Vivash with an important little clearance then for Swindon. Ling. McLaren. A bit frustrating that one again for Ross McLaren. He's The season only began a couple of months ago after a long injury, and he's not been as dominant as usual in this game, and now he's given the ball away to Johnson. Pembridge. Shot straight against the defender, and it comes out to Cool. Well, he had plenty of time, but still got no real power.
Yeah, again, it was a case of the ball not being too kind. It just bounced a little high for Cooley there. Just got up and he just couldn't quite get his knee over it and keep it down on target. There it is, there's the bounce, and it just pulled it and missed the target.
Despite Derby's well-publicised problems at the baseball ground, they are unbeaten in their last 4 matches here, by the way, in League and Cup.
Never thought that ball was going to come back then, Alan. It went right the way up the stand.
Yeah.
Perhaps somebody didn't want it back.
Yes, because Derby don't really need to remain simply unbeaten today. They really need to win. As Nicholson gets a decent-looking ball in. Cleared again by Taylor. And Micklewhite wins it back for Derby. This is Johnson for them. Round. Bowden's clearance to McLaren. Bowden again. Former Crystal Palace player with a good ball forward then to White. Coleman took it off him, and the referee's given a free kick. And I must say, I disagree with the referee on that one.
Coleman's come and won the ball fair and square. He's watched the ball, he's got his foot in, and he's played the ball. You can't believe this decision. You watch. There it goes there. Played the ball fair and square. It's not a pufter's game, this is a man's game. Come on, referee, let it go.
And Steve White was definitely looking to make the most of that, and he's done what he was trying to do. He's won a free kick. Bowden takes it. Coleman got it away, but still the pressure from Swindon. Summerby. Good run by Summerby, and now the linesman has flagged, and I must say again, I didn't really think from this distance that was a foul by Nicholson.
Well, they're trying to get in on the act, I think, the linesman and the referee there. They've had a quiet game, they haven't had a lot of problems to deal with, so we'll make ourselves known and seen. But there again, it was nice to see Summerby at least taking the opponent on, trying to get in behind and trying to get a crossover.
And Summerby himself will take it. The ever-present danger here from Taylor and Mitchell and all the rest of them. And it comes out to Ling. Oh, and that was deflected away by Gabbiadini. He really hit that sweetly.
Gabbiadini had a fitness test just before the match started, and I hope that didn't hit him where he was being tested. Good strike. He's got his head to it.
Yes, as it deflected away. It was a very deliberate header away. Well done, Gabbiadini. And that's a good header by Calderwood, and then back across the face of the goal by White, who might have done better, really, from that range.
It came at him very quickly. Calderwood attacked the ball, got the header. Here it comes, the header, and it comes at White very quickly. It just shoots across there, and he just tried to steer it in and get his neck twisted round and on target, and just slid over the top of the bar. Here it goes, just over the top of the bar. But it looked to me as though Taylor had it covered, to be fair to him.
I wonder if we'll see Glenn Hoddle bring himself on here before the end of play. That's a good ball forward by Nicholson to Johnson. Good defending by Sean Taylor, and he's won the goal kick. Well, he's had a very good game, the former captain of Exeter.
Very solid player. He's strong, and he attacks the ball, and he knows what he's doing. He plays within his limitations. He doesn't try anything fancy or tricky. He just gets on with the game, and he defends well, stoutly, and they're worth their weight in gold to you.
White winning the header, but in doing so, fouled Coleman. Evens things up a little bit, because he just won a free kick off the same player. Kitson trying to get in behind Summerby, who held him off. Legally, says the ref. Derby's throw. Just coming up to an hour of play gone here, and it's still Derby 0, Swindon 0.
In many ways, I've preferred this half to the first half, because both sides are throwing things forward, men forward, and trying to get things going.
Calderwood forced to head that one behind. Scored the winner in the 2-1 victory over the leaders Newcastle last week, Colin Calderwood.
Just needs little changes at their set pieces.
It's a dangerous one, and flicked into the danger area, and a cheeky little back heeler that didn't quite come off for Kitson.
Yeah, unlucky as a little touch goes. It drops behind him, the ball did, and he just tried his little back heel. If he'd have made contact from this, it would have been very interesting. He just didn't quite get the contact. It's good defending. The defender got in behind him and blocked it, actually. But it was good thinking, sharp thinking, and that's what we want to see. Let's see it sharp, let's see it quick, let's see it happening.
The game really needs a goal here. Cool with the free kick. Forsyth has got forward for it, and Kitson has provided us with a goal. It's goal number 21 of the season for the former Leicester man, and it's come at a vital moment for Derby County.
Cooley just plays the ball in, Forsyth goes up, heads it across, a good directing header that one, right in the corner. We had a good view of that, we're right behind it, you'll see it from here. He directs it really well down into the corner and low away from the keeper. Excellent goal, well taken, and that's what this game's needed. Well done, we've got something to go for now.
Well, it's obvious from their home record this season that Derby haven't had the luxury of going in front very often here. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that situation, as Coleman's clearance rather fortunately breaks for Cool, who's overhit the attempted through ball to Johnson. 62 minutes gone, and Paul Kitson has given Derby a vital lead here. Round knocking the ball on again, cleared by Vivash. Back in it comes from Martin Cool. Micklewhite wins it, and it breaks again towards Kitson. Good work by Fraser Digby. Suddenly the pressure's on Swindon. Bowden. Ling. Micklewhite took it from him, and it's in fact Derby's throw. Well, he doesn't look too pleased now, Glenn Hoddle. He knows his side's character is going to be tested to the full here. Fine run, just 2 defeats, remember, in their last 14 league games. Needs to continue for them to stay in touch there with the top 2 automatic promotion spots. Micklewhite trying to release the goal scorer Kitson down the left. Nicholson. Foul on Johnson.
Well, to be fair to Derby, they're the side that's picked up the tempo. They've started to move off the ball and started to create things, get players forward. When you're doing that sort of thing, you deserve the break and deserve the goal. And I'm going to be fair to Derby. It's good tactics, well played. They changed them at half-time, and they're benefiting from him. I just hope they don't sit back and relax.
It's another dangerous situation, this free kick. Looks like Cool might hit this one, and hit it he does, straight at the wall. Nicholson. Knocked it back in too deep. Tail has been made to chase here by Coleman. Goal kick.
Once again, Nicholson there should have just played a little short ball. He's just got that vision. I don't know whether he's been told this or not by the coaching to just knock a ball into the back post all the time, but he needs to look around him and just play a short ball now and again. He's got a nice left foot. Just knock the ball about.
Still a long time to go here for Swindon to get back level, for Derby to try and improve their lead. About 25 minutes remaining. Derby County 1, Swindon Town 0. Kitson the scorer, holds off Marwood and finds Johnson, brought down by Vivash, and Vivash is going to be in trouble with the referee here. It's his second foul in quick succession on the same player.
Yes, great control there, and the ball played in by Kitson. You know, this is what you're looking for from your players, to have a good first touch, and he has good first touch, makes a good pass, and just as the player is building up steam, in comes Vivash. It's a bit unlucky he's got booked.
Vivash
just comes in there a bit late.
Committed, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's got to go for that ball. As a manager, you'd sit there and say, hey, son, don't you pull out of those. You go and win that ball. And I just think it's a bit harsh when they get booked, when they've made up their mind so quickly to go and win a tackle.
Playing in Glenn Hoddle's sweeper's position, remember, and Johnson's speed just got the better of him then. Another free kick just outside the penalty area to Derby. Cool hit the last one straight at the wall. They've got Pembridge also lined up over this one. And he hits it, and it took a deflection for a corner.
People always used to say to me when I was managing, why did you have 3 men on the ball? 2 men seem to be wasted. Well, you're always working out little moves whereby you may touch a short ball or make a dummy run. You know, you see it in this American football, and it works.
Coleman, a new threat here for Swindon from the corner, and flicked on towards him, and the keeper just got a fist in the way, and Round goes down. Penalty. Vivac protests his innocence, but young Steve Round has gained a penalty for Derby.
No doubt whatsoever in my mind this is a penalty. The ball was punched out well by the keeper. He comes onto it, and there he is, straight across his knees and brings him down. Good decision by the referee. The linesman was with it as well. Here's the touch. Ball comes over. Good punch from the goalkeeper. Out it comes, and there it is. Yes. Point to the spot, referee.
A vital moment then in Derby's season. If Mark Pembridge can score here, and he has failed to do so, has he? No, it's still gone in. The keeper made a good attempt to save it, but Pembridge has scored, and that could be a very significant goal.
Very important for Derby now that they keep their heads and keep playing the ball. Don't try and defend 2-0. The way they've got their goals is by pushing forward, attacking. There it goes in there. It just goes underneath him. He's unlucky. He got a good touch to it, but it just spun underneath his body. Go forward, Derby. Keep playing. Now, Glenn Hoddle, I'll be thinking I must get myself on there. Perhaps I could be the man that could change this game. And with my passing ability and my just appearance on the pitch could help my side to lift themselves.
2 goals then in the space of, what, about 5 minutes have given Glenn Hoddle a mighty big problem to solve. But it's certainly given Derby County a great opportunity to score a vital victory here against one of their promotion rivals. 2-0 now to Derby. Mark Pembridge had a little bit of luck, I felt, with the penalty there. I thought Fraser Digby made a marvellous attempt to keep it out. But here's Pembridge again. The vital thing was it went in, and Derby have got a cushion now of 2 goals.
Look at the confidence now. It starts coming, doesn't it? You know, you get those goals and everything changes.
But certainly Derby know that Swindon are a side well capable of scoring goals and getting back into this. And Bowden on a great run for them. Finds White. He ran straight into trouble there. That was wasteful. Gaviadini. Good ball. Kitson finds Nicholson. Knocks it long, looking for Johnson. Too long.
You're right in what you say, Alan. If there's ever a side that will come back, it's going to be Swindon, because they've got the ability and they've got the character to do that.
I think, was it Peterborough, John, earlier in the season where we saw them go 2 behind, and
exactly right.
They came back that day. But I seem to remember they got back into the lead and threw it away late on in that match.
They did. But they have got that ability to say, right, come on, let's keep playing, let's keep going forward. And if there is a chink in Derby's armour, and it may be one player relaxing, they'll find it.
Swindon's away record, as their player manager looks as though he's about to come on, is 5 wins, 6 draws and 6 defeats on visits to opponents' territories this season. They've won 17 of their 35 league games before today. Free kick to Swindon. Over 20 minutes remaining for Swindon to try and save it here. Round, who was challenged by Vivac for the penalty, does well, but then is brushed aside by White. They need to get a goal back as quickly as possible, Swindon, to give themselves any hope here. Bowden. He's got a corner.
Bowden's been impressive. He's looked to get forward. He looks a good player.
Well, this will give Swindon the perfect chance with Calderwood and Taylor forward to get that goal, but the other Taylor, the goalkeeper, comes out and he's missed it, and Taylor hammers it into the net, and indeed he has given Swindon a lifeline. Sean Taylor's 10th goal of the season.
Well, the Taylors sewed it up between them there, didn't they? And I couldn't believe Martin Taylor, who's had a superb game, suddenly comes, misses completely, and it's a great left foot strike from Taylor. The power behind it and the accuracy behind it is a wonderful strike. Even Greasy would be proud to strike a ball like that.
Absolutely. I mean, we know how well he can head the ball, but the way he kept that down then and found the roof of the net, beautiful skill from Taylor, explosive shot, and it's 2-1. 20 minutes to go. It took a long time to warm up this game, but it's white hot now. And Glenn Hoddle decides maybe that this is the time to introduce his skills. Sean Close, the striker, the former Spurs man, is the other Swindon sub, you can see that. And suddenly, Derby perhaps not looking quite so confident. Johnson. Round. It's too deep.
To be truthful, Alan, I've always had my thoughts on Swindon on set pieces. They're as dangerous as any side there is in the league. And you cannot afford to give away silly free.
Here goes White, trying to pressurise Coleman, and Mitchell arrives too, and it breaks towards Marwood, and the goalkeeper made a good save, and Marwood made a pretty pathetic effort to make it look as though he'd been brought down.
That was a good save. Here's the ball there. Strike, a little deflection, and it's a race between Marwood and Taylor. Taylor, brave, gets his arms out and gets the ball in. Safe hands.
Marwood again. He's had a good match by Marwood. But it's Pembridge who picks it up and feeds Nicholson now for Derby. Summerby forces him wide and wins it off him, in fact. Glenn Hoddle gets his first touch, although he's still the other side of the touchline.
Killed it stone dead, didn't he? You know, that's great, isn't it? He's warming up, the ball flies to him, and he just brings it down stone dead. You don't lose it.
In my case, you never had it, but I know what you mean.
Tell me about you, Alan.
Gabbiadini with a nice little turn inside the penalty area. Vivash didn't dare make the challenge then. Didn't dare make it. And in fact, I think Vivash might be the player who will make way now for the player-manager, Glenn Hoddle.
He just had a very hectic 10 minutes there, young Vivash, didn't he? Things weren't going for him, and getting a booking didn't help.
Here he is again. Good ball. Odin. The long ball for White. Round gets there ahead of Bodin, and now Pembridge. Well, momentarily, Swindon looking good here, but Fraser Digby gets himself in a spot of bother. That was handball, or if it wasn't, it was offside. Either way, it's a free kick to Swindon. And Glenn Hoddle is about to introduce his silky skills to the action. Adrian Vivash, having conceded a penalty, will be replaced. A bit difficult to complain, isn't it, when it's your own manager coming on? And he made a little signal there to the other players, maybe to go with a flat back four, a conventional back four there, do you think, John?
I think that's what he's going to do, Alan. It looks as though he's going to come and sit in the midfield, and his skills will be needed there, because he is a most wonderful player with silky skills, silky passes, you know, and he's just a player that you just admire.
Well, the boos that you hear ringing around the baseball ground are for the decision to replace Marco Gabbiadini. And he just says thanks to the crowd for your support there. Mark Stallard coming on in his place. 18-year-old striker, a local lad, who's only made one previous appearance as a substitute this season. That was against Sheffield Wednesday in the FA Cup.
It's a gamble, that, I would say.
Yeah, I think that surprised a few, but Arthur Cox is wily and experienced enough to know what he was doing.
Sure of that.
And here's Kitson. Stallard has broken away into a good position straight away, but Hoddle intercepts and then gives it away. That's unusual too. Cool. Round. Johnson again, turns away and gets a defender into trouble. This time, Sean Taylor, who brings him down.
Yeah, it was good ball in. He tried to turn him, and Taylor, the big strong defender he is, says, well, ball may go bounce, but player and ball together, no way. And it's a strong tackle, and the referee just had a quiet word with him. It wasn't one of those desperate tackles, and it's just a little knock in the thigh, and I'm sure he'll recover very quickly.
15 minutes to go, and this game fascinatingly poised now. At one moment it seemed as though Derby had done enough to give themselves a winning lead, but Glenn Hoddle's side pulled that goal back through Sean Taylor. It's 2-1 to Derby now, and that's a very different picture.
But it's been an open second half. Both sides have looked to play, looked to get forward. Derby had a 20-minute spell where they deserved everything they got. They played some good football, some good movement, and you get the results from doing it that way.
Physio Gordon Guthrie, who's been at Derby, I think, longer than the baseball ground, gets the injured Johnson back on his feet.
What an influence this player has been on Derby, Martin Cole, superb passer of the ball.
And he'll take the free kick and lift it in towards Coleman, far post. Goal kick, though. Coleman's header going behind.
I thought you proved me wrong straight away, Alan. Yeah, I thought that was too strong for Coleman. It was actually just a little bit too strong at the back post.
Good header by Forsyth. Straight back in again by Sean Taylor. Difficult ball for Nicholson, under pressure as he was too.
Just get the feeling that Swindon are going to pick up the tempo and just go a little bit stronger at the game now.
Round's clearance finds Johnson. Hooks it on, but not much chance there of the substitute Stellard reaching that. Hoddle. White. Mitchell's offside.
It's interesting to see where Hoddle was then. He'd gone in between two strikers and was playing up front. He's playing in between the two big boys and just possibly just sit just behind them and pick up all the pieces from there. One thing he will do from there is keep them in possession.
Michael White just turns it on, but couldn't do much more, really. McLaren. White, good layoff, and he was brought down as well as he did so by Mickey Forsyth.
I think he'll get a booking for that, will he, Forsyth? He did go in rather strong and a little late.
Yes, you're right.
They hurt, they do, I can assure you. You know, when you catch it or be caught from behind and just really across the back of the legs and just catch you and just shake you up a bit.
One of Arthur Koch's first signings, of course, 8 years ago, Mickey Forsyth, and one of Arthur Koch's favourite players. Had an indifferent season at left-back, but doing really well in this new, recently new centre-back role. Hoddle with a free kick. Swindon 2-1 down. White's header. Cool took a risk and got away with it. 11 minutes to go.
Put him under pressure.
Somerby gets the ball out.
It's a little surprise there that the Swindon strikers didn't go and put the keeper under pressure there.
Another substitution about to be made, John. Brian Marwood has come off.
Yeah, he done exceptionally well. He got in there, 3 strikes at goal. But having said that, I just sensed that his legs were starting to go.
Sean Close on in his place. He's an out-and-out striker, so Swindon really are going for it, looking for that equaliser. And throwing a little bit of caution aside. Not that they're a cautious side in any manner of means. Their instinct is to go forward at all times. And they'll go forward now with Ling. Michael White denied him room, but he gets it back from McLaren. And that was a late challenge on him as he played it away there, Ling. Free kick, quite rightly. And Nicholson diving in.
With Close coming on, he's gone up front, and now you'll see Glenn Hoddle sitting in the middle of midfield now.
Michael White's clearance goes straight to Summerby. Another one who's really an attacking player, playing in a basically defensive role. He gave Taylor a difficult ball there, and it goes forward towards Mitchell. Hard for the goalkeeper this, but it bounced kindly for him.
Taylor did well to keep his eye on that ball, because Mitchell was coming straight at him all the time, and you are at times inclined to just take your eye off the ball and look at the striker coming, but he didn't there. He took it well.
And the header by Calderwood's not what he intended. Somebody had to come and help him out. Kicks and lets it run because it's Derby's throw. 9 minutes to go. Calderwood's team 2-1 down here to Derby County. Derby, naturally enough, will take an age over this throw-in. Finally, Nicholson finds Stallard. Two young men together. Trying to tempt Calderwood, who finally gives him what he was inviting, sliding tackle.
Yeah, you know, he's saying, don't try and take the mickey out of me, son, because I'm coming for it. And he did. He went in positively. And if he hadn't got out of the way quickly, he would have got caught there.
Cool with the back header. It was a good one. And Sean Taylor had to head behind. Corner kick.
Cooley got a good touch. I don't know what Cooley was doing up that far. He'll get nosebleed if he keeps going into those positions. Are they going to take a short corner here, 2 against 1? Be nice to see, just for a change.
No, they've changed their mind. It's going to be the long ball in against, possibly to that near post area by Michael White. And it does go short to Stallard. Back to Michael White.
He tried to play it against him, didn't he, and get the corner.
Goal kick. If they were just trying to kill a bit of time there, I'm a bit surprised, Derby, because still 8 minutes to go. That's a dangerous game.
Yeah, that's a bit early to start doing things like that, but I just thought they might take a change and make a change, and a short corner would just get the opposition at it a little bit, but they didn't really look to penetrate from it.
Difficult one here for Summerby, and he dealt with it well.
Come on, Mark!
An enormous kick by Fraser Digby. Forsyth gets it clear, only as far though as Hovell. Lovely ball forward to Mitchell. Mitchell tries to set it up for White then, and the ball breaks towards Ling, and that's a goal kick, and Martin Taylor did enough just to get in the way, really.
Yeah, there was the first touch from Hoddle. Great awareness. You know, the wonderful thing about great players is they always know where their team are positioned without looking. They seem to sense. They look before they get a ball and says, he's there if I get it, he's here if I want him, and they're always aware of where they are. Great skill, and only great players got that.
Free kick to Swindon, and the end they're attacking now has an electronic scoreboard that shows the time ticking away. The Swindon players must be able to see that, so they know exactly, or approximately anyway, how long there is to go, and there are 6 minutes to go, and they're 2-1 down. Bodin cuts inside. This is dangerous. Sets it up for McLaren. He hit that one well, but wide.
Nice move. The ball came across the pitch there, and it goes back into McLaren. And McLaren was unlucky. Really, I felt he was going to hit it with his left foot, but it was on his right foot. He let it run across him, and it was just wide of the target. It was a good strike, just needed to be on target. A lot of power behind it. Good move. That should be a warning to Derby that, come on, we've got to keep the game tight and we've got to keep getting forward.
And forward they go again. Turned on towards White, and White's got himself clear, has he? No. Young Steve Brown did really well then for Derby, got in and made the tackle.
Yes, that was desperation stakes. Coleman put himself out of the game by going on his backside here and stretching for it. He should have kept on his feet, but here young Rain gets in, gets the ball clear, knocks his head by the looks of it, and just needs a little bit of treatment.
Yeah, hurt himself in the process, the 22-year-old. Got into the side, I remember last season when Mickey Forsyth was suspended for a couple of games at left back, although he is by nature a right back. And remember, it was his run into the penalty area that produced the second goal, that produced the penalty. Converted by Mark Pembridge. The old smelling salts will revive him if nothing else does. So the corner finally comes in and is headed away, and in any case, as Coleman made contact with it, the referee had seen an infringement. Free kick to Derby. Stallard getting up, but much higher than Taylor. But Stallard still gets the loose ball, and then Micah White feeds a good ball out to Kitson. Well, that's a lovely little ball threaded inside. He was unlucky there. McLaren brings it clear, though. Still chances for Swindon, perhaps. Sean close forward to Ling. Ling being urged by the bench to run forward, but Coleman, who's had a decent game, coming on as a substitute in the second half, got in his way. Now Stallard. And Calderwood. Oh, lovely. Little back healer to Summerby. And still they come forward now, Swindon, searching for this equalising goal as we move into the last 3 minutes. They're 2-1 down. Bodin. Good ball forward. Chance here for Sean Close. That's an excellent tackle, though, by Forsyth on him. Good clean tackle, too. Now Taylor. Headed on by Mitchell to White. And Steve White pulls it down and goes down. And they're all claiming a penalty, but the referee hasn't given it. McLaren gets the shot in, and then that's deflected away.
No, I wouldn't like to say that was a penalty. No way.
No. I think the referee was right there. Been right on both the penalty decisions, but still, Swindon pour forward with Summerby pulling it back and winning a corner. Man of the match, incidentally, is Sean Taylor, selected by Jimmy Greaves for his marvellous contribution to this match and the goal that has given Swindon the possibility still, with 2 minutes to go, of rescuing something here. And it goes in towards him again, and he almost won it. Coleman in his way. Ling knocks it back in. Close keeps it in play. Now Michael White gets it out of play, but it's only a throw-in. The pressure mounts on Derby.
Greaves has got the wrong Taylor there, hasn't he?
White turns it on. Chance for Mitchell. Well, if there was another Taylor who was going to get the man of the match, he's made another important contribution there. Martin Taylor with that point-blank save.
There's a cross going in here. There's the flick on, and it's a flick on by there, and great diving header. Good save. This game isn't over yet. It's not over till the fat lady sings, isn't it?
We're into the last minute. 2-1. Derby lead. Young Stallard battles to try and win possession for them. It's a Swindon throw. There have been 3 or 4 injury stoppages in this half, so there'll be a couple of minutes, I would have thought, at least, to be added by the referee. White wins the header. Close with the shot, and Taylor's in the right place again.
White did well there. He backed in, gets a little header down there, and there's Close. He waits for it to drop and hits the target. Taylor's in the right spot.
Sean Taylor gets it clear. Ling plays it on. Now Nicholson. Kitson. Now they do need to get the ball in the corner and keep it there. Here's Cool. Gives it straight to Sean Taylor. Now Calderwood. Summerby had to pass it back to his goalkeeper, who stabs it forward. Cool beats McLaren. There's an offside decision, and we are now into stoppage time here. Derby County 2, Swindon Town 1.
I see Glenn Hoddle saying to the referee, take the time, ref, take the time.
Forsyth gets a good clearance for Derby, and now Martin Cool, and Kitson's free on the left, and he's found him. No, he hasn't, just too hard.
Yes, the one man you'd say wouldn't be giving the ball away at this stage is Martin Cool, and he's made 2 bad passes, most unlike him. He's had an excellent match. He's directed things from the midfield for Derby.
The referee's had a look at his watch. We're 2 minutes into stoppage time. It's still 2-1 to Derby County, but they're under pressure again here. Martin Taylor comes out to retrieve the ball. Have they done enough to gain a vital win? That's it, it's all over. Derby County have beaten Swindon by 2 goals to 1, and that was a result they desperately needed. Their miserable home form forgotten on the day when goals by Paul Kitson and then a penalty kick converted by Mark Pembridge gave them a 2-0 lead. Sean Taylor with a splendid goal brought Swindon back into the picture, and Martin Taylor's contribution in goal for Derby, apart from on that goal when he made a mistake, was excellent because he kept them in the game long before that. 2-1 the final score at Derby then. We'll be back with more news and views after this break.
They think it's all over. It is now.
Take the wheel of the new Peugeot 405 with its unique ICD road handling system, and you know you've had this feeling before, a feeling of total control, and the confidence to handle whatever the world throws at you. Peugeot 405 with ICD. It takes your breath away.
Natural Plus antiperspirant with plant extracts works in harmony with your body. Natural Plus works in harmony with your body.
Insurance, investment, pensions. Whatever your needs, whatever you are, Eagle Star covers your world.
Come on, life's always better in the sun. How do they get their stories? Now all can be revealed. Someone called me up and said, I'm the one who squealed. Taylor's picked an England team that's put him on a roll. It's Gazza, 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 with Gazza in the goal. Will bureaucrats in Brussels unify the nations and standardise your sausage to meet the regulations? In the sun. In the sun, in the sun. Life's always better in the sun. In the sun, in the sun. In the sun.
Combatte, combatte,
Great traditions come straight from the heart. Traditionally brewed, Banks is bitter.
With us now is Derby manager Arthur Cox. Arthur, how satisfying was that win for you?
Well, it's the fourth consecutive win against Swindon in 2 seasons, and they're everybody's yardstick of how football's supposed to be played and all the things that go along with that. And again, we've been very, very under strength compared with what our team probably should be if everyone was fit. Added to that the big fella, we've lost him at half-time, which is a culmination of problems, unfortunately, and obviously he's gone on with grit and determination, and well, he's carried on probably above and beyond the call of duty many times recently. And so we're very pleased. We're very pleased. Four on the trot against them. Delighted.
It sets you up for an important week now, eventful week.
Well, you know, you at the start, Phil, you said as the season ended and everything, and it just made me a little angry, son. Just made
Wasn't
me a
meant
little
to.
angry. Well, it did.
Wish you well at Wembley.
Thank you very much.
He had the ump. Arthur had the ump.
Do you know what? That's 5 wins at home on the trot for Derby.
Oh,
Heck of an achievement.
Oh, they're going well. I think they just about deserve to win that game. Only just, because having gone 2 up, they actually did sit back a little bit.
Get a bit nervous, understandably.
But I mean, on balance, they did look the better side.
Look, before they scored, though, Marwood very nearly put Swindon ahead.
Marwood could have put Swindon ahead, actually, and I know Snoz had a little pop at me for not picking the goalkeeper as man of the match, but I think a couple of his saves you would have expected a goalkeeper to save, but this one certainly was the outstanding save of the game, because Marwood did hit that well. And from then on, it seemed to go for Derby's way. They actually did move up a gear, and Kitson...
Nice goal.
It was a nice goal. It was a very well taken goal. Lovely directed header. Because this is where the keeper did actually have a bit of brainstorm. And Sean Taylor, my eventual man of the match, scores. I didn't give it to him because of that. He just happened to have a very good game. In a match where I did feel that a lot of players didn't show as much as they might have done. But it was a good game of football.
Just a quick
and
word
well won.
about Swindon and the problems now with having to sell players. David Kerslake already gone. What was Glenn Hoddleby thinking?
He's thinking, obviously, he does not want to sell any players. But a board of directors have a football club to run. Some clubs have to sell to survive, others have to buy to survive. Swindon could possibly be in the first category, Tone. A manager has to live with it. However, he's had a great season. They're certainly still in the pole position, so they've got everything to play for till the end of the year.
I tell you what, Jim, Leicester City are looking very good at the moment, and we're just going to show the goals from yesterday now. We start at Filbert Street. Here they come. What a run this is. 5 wins on the trot for one of the most inconsistent teams in the top half. It's another Warhurst syndrome with Steve Walsh, the defender turned predator. This was his 9th of the season. As yet, no England call-up. David Lowe will no doubt lay claim to the second goal, even though there seemed to be plenty of fresh air between his head and the ball. 2-0, and the game was as good as finished after 26 minutes, when Lowe crossed for David Oldfield to bury the Mariners. Leicester have scored 3 goals in each of their last 4 league games. The team to watch, obviously. Nothing much changes down the A1 way. We all know about Peterborough's away form, and that taking the lead against an off-colour team like Oxford is no guarantee of ultimate success. Worrell Sterling's opener was cancelled out by Joey Beecham, and this was Oxford's first point in 6 league games. If you're a Wolves fan, what you're about to see will take the edge off Mother's Day. Hardly the semblance of defence as Steve Butler went poaching. And even a goal from Bully failed to galvanise Wolves. Amazing that in a lean season he still scored 18. It didn't matter much though when the defence caved in again 2 minutes from time, and Gary Clayton had more freedom than he'd expect in a practice match. The Turner out brigade given even more ammunition. They threw a spanner in the West Ham works last Saturday, but Notts were given the runaround on Tyneside, where Robert Lee smashed them into submission, and David Kelly did the rest of the damage. The former Walsall, West Ham and Leicester City striker is having a glorious time with his feet and with his head. 2 goals in 8 minutes in this match, 23 for the season so far. But this is the one which probably pleased Kevin Keegan most, scored by his latest recruit, Andrew Cole. Nothing surely will stop Newcastle now. Two promoted teams fighting for survival, and 7 months since Birmingham won away from home in the league, but Paul Pescasolido has suddenly discovered why he's a Canadian international. 2 goals at Griffin Park to make it 5 in 5 games as the Blues move out of the relegation zone. This is what happens when you're taken over by a pawn king. And here are the rest of today's results in Division 1. The latest score, that is, Barnsley 1, Sunderland 0, Wayne Biggins. And this is a result, Southend 3, Millwall 3, which won't please Millwall, who are, of course, heading for the promotion to the Premier League. And there is the top of Division 1. As you can see, Swindon still in 4th place, unable to regain that 3rd position after being beaten today. Derby 9th now, still a heck of a long way behind. So if they're going to get into the playoffs, they've got to keep winning every game. One other result, or rather half-time score from this afternoon, Nottingham Forest 1, Leeds United 1. Now, let me just tell you that this is the reason we're going to be on a little earlier next week. That's the Anglo-Italian Cup, or the Coppa Anglo-Italiana, and it gives me a chance just to remind you about our competition, which is to find out when Derby County were last at Wembley. They'll be there on Saturday, of course, thanks to Gabbiadini and his friends who beat Brentford in the semi-final. They will now play Cremonese, the Italian side, to win that competition. There's the question then, when did Derby County last play at Wembley? And if you know the answer, please reply to Central Match Live, Central TV, Broad Street, Birmingham, B12JP, by Wednesday. We'll be with you at 2:15. There's that and the big match, Newcastle against Birmingham, live from St James's Park. For now, bye-bye.